So you're now a landlord and you've been collecting rent, everything is great, but you get a phone call from your tenant and he tells you that there's mold in the house and that 2 of the kids are in the hospital because of major problems due to this mold. And guess what? The attorney's calling you the next week and you have a lawsuit in your hands. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the coverage on a DP3 policy that's going to protect you against that lawsuit. And we're getting into the video right now. Welcome back to the insurance series. In last week's video, we talked about the DP3 policy, section 1. Today, we're talking about section 2 that's going to cover you against that lawsuit that might be coming your way. So in section 2 of the policy, you're going to have coverage E and F. Coverage E is liability, simply stated. So in a case like that where I was explaining where the tenant called you because of some negligence that you failed to take care of, or in some cases something you didn't even know was wrong with the property, the tenants, remember, tenants always find a reason. Not only tenants, everyone does it, right? In this country, everyone loves to sue. So as a landlord, you need to be properly protected. Coverage E typically comes in coverage in limits of either 100 or 300,000. In addition to that, I'd like to add just a little side note that you might want to ask your insurance agent. There are additional liability policies out there. Some of them can go up to $1 million. It is important to protect your asset, not only the house that you're actually renting, but any other asset that you have, especially if the house is under your personal name. You are directly liable for any lawsuits. So in that policy, coverage E is very important to make sure you speak to your insurance agent and see if there's any possible way that you can increase those limits, because like I said, anything can happen. Sometimes it's going to be your direct negligence and sometimes it won't be that, but you need to be properly covered. And coverage F, which is the last coverage, is a medical payments coverage, and those usually come in limits of $2,000 to $5,000. That is kind of like it's a simple liability coverage. It's designed only for medical payments. Let's take the same tenant, for example. He fractured his wrist because you didn't properly fix the staircase. But they're not attempting to sue you. They just want to cover the medical expenses that they inquired when they went to the emergency room, for example. Your policy would cover it. It doesn't have deductibles, so it's going to be the full $2,000 or $5,000. And that's a quick way to take care of any little issues that may come. So this is section 2 of your DP3 policy. I wanted to go over that with you. This would finalize the DP3, which is for you landlords that are looking to, or future landlords that are looking to buy properties and rent them. It's very important to make sure that you're properly covered. And if you haven't so yet, make sure you hit that like button. So guys, in summary, I know we talked last week about section 1. I'm going to just kind of go over it real quick to close out this DP3 part of the insurance series. Remember that coverage A, coverage structure, coverage B is other structures, coverage C is personal property, which in a DP3 is only really going to take care of the appliances because the landlord's not going to have any personal property unless you're renting the property furnished. That's different. Coverage D is going to cover fair rental value. So that's in case that you start losing rent because the house burnt down or the hurricane came and blew it away. Now you're not renting it, and then now you need to get some of that rental value that you're losing from the policy. And section 2, which is what we talked about today, was your liability portion. Coverage E being your personal liability. Coverages usually come between 1 and 300,000, and that's going to cover you in case you get a direct lawsuit from the tenant or anyone else for that matter that injures himself in the house if you're personally liable. And then coverage F, which is the medical payments coverage. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this section of the insurance series. Next week we'll be talking about the HO6 that is geared towards condos And in that policy, it's going to be very similar to that, but there's a few differences. So stay tuned. I hope you're enjoying this insurance series. Remember that I am a real estate agent in the Miami-Dade and Broward County area. And if you're any other part of the nation, I can refer you an excellent agent that can help you in your buying or selling process. My information is linked below. If you have any questions, feel free to call me, contact me, and I'm looking forward to speaking to all of you. Thank you guys for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, that you subscribe, and you share with your friends. See you in the next one.